Skyscraper is a collection of images that we use an open-door helicopter to photograph the island of Manhattan and surrounding boroughs from 1,000 feet up to 15,000 feet. My name is Paul Seibert. I'm a photographer, and I've been using Canon products for the last 15 years. 15,000 feet pushes the body beyond what is normal. For that, I needed to find the right team of pilots and someone to document, and that's where Alex came in.
You know, it was a crazy idea, but I had no doubt that he would make it work. But I knew that this would be unlike anything else that we had done before.
The idea was to start about 20 minutes, be in position about 20 minutes to a half an hour before sunrise. I wanted there to be transition from this twilightish blue hour all the way through golden hour when we get to 15,000 feet.
I had a good idea that Paul would probably be sitting back left with the door open there. I would be back right behind the pilot. And when you're up there, you're kind of stuck there. You can't really move around or anything. It's really hard to get different and unique shots. A lot of it just becomes the same. And so I knew I wanted to be able to reach out and get these other angles in front of Paul and maybe even reach past him to shoot out the same window. And so immediately I thought of the C70, just because of everything that it has to offer built into the body itself in such a small form factor. I was kind of blind shooting, but wasn't entirely blind shooting because I was able to flip that screen around and turn it into the position that I needed to shoot a subject that was next to me, and that was huge for something like this.
I take two camera bodies up with me. Both of those are Canon EOS R5. The lenses that I am shooting on are the RF 15 to 35 2.8L lens and the RF 70 to 200 2.8L lens. The RF glass is absolutely amazing. The technological advancements in both the optics in the lens and then combining that with stabilization in the lens and in the R5, it was almost like it was the perfect time to put this system to the test in ways that I've never done before.
Shooting at sunrise, the light is always changing. As I'm shooting both in and outside of the helicopter, sometimes directly into the sun, sometimes away from it, I have to be able to change exposure quickly. These flights are only sometimes 20 minutes, 30 minutes. This one that we did was a little bit longer, closer to an hour. Every minute counts. And having those ND filters built in, I end up walking away with more shots because of it. It sounds a little crazy. Oh, I got 1 or 2 extra shots, but like that makes a huge difference.
Being in a helicopter with no doors, first of all, the helicopter is constantly vibrating. And then anytime you shift, the aircraft with an open door, you're subject to winds. And so shooting through that can be difficult. But with the stabilization, it's almost like I'm not thinking about that as much. And I mean, there's been times when I have to cheat a little bit on the shutter speed in order for me to get a properly exposed image. And I know that I'm pushing normally what would be the boundaries. And with that stabilization, it just helps a little bit more. There's a little bit more security there in that shooting environment. And yeah, it's really nice.
I'm trying to capture everything that's going on, both inside and outside of the helicopter. I'm thinking of the B-roll, I'm thinking of the story, and all around me, everything is changing. And so there's a lot to think about. And in having something like the C70 with the flip-out screen, with the RF lenses, is just a few less things that I have to worry about, so I can really focus on composition and on the shot and on the story that we're trying to tell. And I walk away with better shots because of it.
Having shot Canon for the last 15 years and seeing the progression from DSLR into the mirrorless, I was super excited and also at the same time not concerned at all that I was going to have any issues with the camera. Given the improved optics, given the stabilization, I knew that these were the right tools for the job, and yeah, I couldn't have done it without it.